What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 11 of our HEXAGON challenge. And well, we are still with Waitakere United in the ASB Premiership. Last episode, I ended on quite a nice high note. If you missed that episode, go check it out. It was a longer episode. I just wanted, before we start, again, apologise for the fact that the last 3 episodes preceding this one, obviously there was sections of the screen cut out. I pride myself on the quality of my videos. The last 3 been a little bit subpar, unfortunately. However, I didn't realise that they were cut out and they were cropped funny until after I'd finished recording. Fortunately, you could still see the matches being played. There wasn't any kind of massively key information being cut off. Fixed it here, fixed it now. And yeah, let's continue on with this challenge. So last episode we did win the Oceanic Champions League, of course, and obviously that means we've done one corner or side of the HEXAGON challenge. So we need to find a new challenge in a new continent. Obviously, it's now December, it's been 8 months, and I've been applying for so many jobs. It's been unbelievable. I've had a number of interviews, I've found a number of potential jobs, and I've been turned down for pretty much every single one. I mean, the fact I'm getting interviews is promising. It's just a little bit disheartening, I guess. But it's taken so long for me to find a new job that today I'm back with the World Club Cup Championship. I am going to cover the transfers here at Waitakere, although, to be honest, obviously there's not much point in covering them because I am really trying to leave the club as soon as possible. But we'll just go through them. Mike Morris left the club. The only sell I really made of significance, we sold him for £500,000 to the Greek team PAOK. Is that it? I can't remember what their team is an anagram for. Maybe it's just called PAOK. Answers on a postcard. I do not feel okay calling it that, but we'll go with it. In terms of other transfers, there's not been a ton. You know, I've made a few signings. I signed Josh Noto, who was a pre-contract signing, and we also signed Diego Riviera. Or Rivera, even, Jack, not Riviera. That sounds like some kind of Italian restaurant or something. But no, this guy's not bad. We brought him in. He, again, is the American kind of player that we've been signing a fair few of. There are also a few transfers who I've brought in who are going to be coming in over a period of time. Kind of the thinking behind these players was if I sign a load of good young players for the future, hopefully I can kind of leave a legacy here. At this club when I leave, and who knows, maybe if a few of them turn out to be absolutely incredible, we will try and snap them up ourselves. So all these players are going to be joining the club when they're 18, which is pretty pleasing. Philip Foos looks absolutely incredible for a player who's going to be joining us in a year's time still. He's going to be a very, very good player in New Zealand, I think it's fair to say. So yeah, that's a little bit about what's been going on at the club here. We actually had the finances, be very, very good for us. The board gave me a load of money at the end of the season, despite the fact that we were in the red. Quite a bizarre situation. Of course, it doesn't bother me too much because we are not planning on staying here for too long. In terms of the kind of jobs I've been applying for, there's been quite a lot of variety at the moment. I'm trying to be still quite picky over the teams I go for. I've been applying for teams like Al Sadd here, who you can see right in the Qatar Stars League, which is the top flight. They actually have a sugar daddy owner. When I applied for this job, there was a press article that came out saying I'd be an ideal fit for the job. I've had that come through a few times and then I've not got the job, so I'm not going to hold on to it too much. I've tried applying for some MLS teams like LA Galaxy and I didn't get them, so I'm not even going to bother applying for that there. But yeah, all in all, I've just been going pretty crazy applying for jobs. I think my plan is, obviously, if we are still at Waitakere at the end of the season, I will resign at that point. I might even resign after this episode, after the World Club Championships, because with there not being any compensation to pay me for leaving the club to go to a prospective new club, obviously that might make me slightly more employable. Anyway, eagle-eyed viewers might be going, Jack, you're going on talking about how you've not got a job, but you have got a new job. And you're absolutely correct. I have. I am now the France Under-21s manager. Slightly bizarre kind of twist of fate, I guess, to come here to France. But yeah, I am the France Under-21 manager at the moment, and it's kind of a nice way for me to help boost my rep. At the moment we are playing in the Euro qualifiers. You can see if we look here, we are top of our group with 5 wins and 1 draw. Neil Mopai is doing a great job for us. I probably butchered the pronunciation there, but he's done a great job for us. Our striker, he's been the top goal scorer in the competition with 9 goals in 6 games so far. Saint Maximin has also done well here, the 20-year-old, really good winger. And yeah, I'm quite enjoying this challenge of international management. I've not covered the games in the international kind of scene, just because I see this as kind of a job that I kind of have in the background. It helps my rep. It gives me a little bit of an opportunity, I guess, to learn a bit about some French players. I'm actually in the process of really revamping the squad that's kind of selected for the under-21s and such, which is kind of interesting. I plan on removing a lot of these players and really going back to square one, because really so far in my Euro campaign, which has spanned the 6 games which I mentioned since the Ukraine game, I've kind of just gone with the previous under-21 squad, and I really want to kind of put my own stamp on it. You can see here, obviously, I joined after they lost in the Euro under-21s semi-finals to Italy. We drew our first game against Ukraine, which was a little bit disappointing. However, we were 3-1 down in that game, so to rescue a draw was pretty pleasing. And then since then, we've kind of rolled a lot of the smaller teams. And of course, we did, as you can see here, beat Ukraine under-21s in our most recent game. You can see here Lissamba getting a goal as well as Tran. Lissamba, a pretty nice player, and also Tran's been a surprisingly kind of good player, this guy. He's a regen. We do have a few regens in our side, because of course we are in December 2017, which is now 2 years into the save. But yeah, pretty pleased with that. I think to get the France under-21s job is pretty good, to be honest. France, of course, very good young prospects. In real life, in FM, they always get through good regens. It's a club or a nation that I should be able to get some success at, and obviously getting some good success would be pretty pleasing. I have actually got a friendly against England coming up at the start of March. If we still don't have a job, I might come back for that game, give you a flavour of what's been going on in the kind of international squad. If we just look at our team here, and the top performers so far this campaign, I've talked about Saint Maximin and also Mopai. You've got a few players here like Samed, last name with a squiggly C that I don't know how to say. He looks quite good though, the centre mid. And then there are some really, really good young players. We've got Alan Remy here, who's quite a good goalkeeper. Playing for Atletico Madrid. And we also have this guy, Bahambula, who is 16 years old and plays for Chelsea. And he is just going to be an absolutely world-class striker, I think. He looks so good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with kind of how he looks and how good he could potentially be for us. Just a fantastic little player. Not playing in the Premier League just yet, the 16-year-old, but certainly one of the hottest prospects in our team. So that's kind of what's been going on at the club over the last kind of 8 months or so. I've got a new job managing in France. It's good for my youth knowledge. It's good for getting a reputation built up in Europe a little bit as a manager. Of course, I've continued on with what's been going on in New Zealand. If we look at Waitakere United in the Premiership, you can see we are top of the league by 5 points. We have lost a game already this season, which is pretty disappointing. Of course, we are trying to get back-to-back titles. The loss that we had was, of course, against Auckland City. Who else was it going to be against? The team who we thrashed in the OSB, is it OSC? I think it was OSC or OSA Champions League, the Oceanic Final. We smashed them there. First game of the season, we lost 2-0. You can see since then, been pretty pleasing. We've had a few slip-ups. We're still in the Chatham Cup, which is nice. I might continue managing here until there's no trophies left to win for the season. It'd be nice to win the league again. That would help my rep. Winning the Chatham Cup might help just a little bit. In terms of myself as a manager, of course, if we look at the profile here, managing finances is really, really good because I'm sticking within the board's budgets, even though the club's in debt. You can see media handling's dropped a little bit. Obviously, this season, it's a bit of a write-off season as far as I'm concerned in New Zealand. I'm not kind of investing my heart and soul into the league campaign. I mean, it's going well because we have a good squad, but I don't feel like there's this massive pressure on my shoulders, I guess you could say. You can see looking at kind of our other stats here, technique and attacking coaching going really well. A few of these other ones have raised nicely too. If we look at our career stats, you can see 95 games played, 71. That is a 73% win ratio, which is pretty pleasing. Obviously, that could be a little bit better if it wasn't for the fact we'd started at Beijing IT. But regardless, we're turning into quite a good little manager for a 24-year-old. In terms of our overview here, so you can see it in a load more detail, we're obviously 819 games into this save. The total value of players bought is £0. We sold Michael Morris for £500,000, which of course makes up a big amount of the kind of total money we've brought in. And you can see at Waitakere a 75% win ratio with 1 league win and, of course, a cup win, which we had last time out. So anyway, today's episode, something a little bit different. It's the FIFA Club World Cup. We do play it in the first round as the winner of the Oceanic Champions League. We're going to be taking on Al Ahly in the UAE, which I'm not sure if they compete maybe in the African Champions League. They must do, mustn't they? I'm not sure. They must do, because there's already a team from Asia competing. Unless they're the hosts. I have a feeling that this competition is being played in in the United Arab Emirates, which might actually explain it. That must explain it, because they play in the Asian Champions League. So that's the only logical explanation I can come up with, I'm afraid. If anyone has a better explanation as to why they're competing here, let me know. In terms of their squad, though, they're a very good team. It's going to be a challenge here. This is the very first round of the competition. We come in as kind of the winner of the Oceanic kind of stage. You can see they've got Human Tariq, who, a lot of you guys probably recognise, FM veterans. This guy, 21 years old, very good deep line playmaker. Not sure if he's as good this year in FM as he has been in the last few years, but the Iraqi centre mid is a very, very good talent regardless, and he is kind of their big man to watch out for. They've got some other players like Nasser here, who is their goalkeeper. He doesn't actually look that great. And they've also got this guy, Khalid Sabail Lashkari. That sounds good, doesn't it? We'll go with that as his name. Interestingly enough, I am actually, as I mentioned, in the process of applying for a job in Qatar, which I have been linked with quite positively. It'd be a good job to get at Al Sadd. They do have a sugar daddy owner. Unfortunately, Jimenez is the leading candidate, so we probably won't get that job. But I'm going to dream and I'm going to believe. And if we don't get that job, then I'm just going to cry a little bit. And then we'll continue on. Anyway, that took a very sad turn, didn't it? I really don't want to go to England just yet, but if we get really desperate, there is maybe the option to go to kind of a League One, maybe a Championship team if I could get it. But anyway, let's move into today's game. We are taking on Al Ahly. It's a game where we're not really expected to win, if we're honest. In terms of the team for today's game, we're going to go with Iago in goal, our Brazilian keeper who came at the end of last season. A really good goalkeeper, to be honest. Halucha out at right back. Again, a good little wing back, this guy. Good technical ability as well for a kind of, I guess, a lower end defender. We then go with Verniga, the New Zealand international, the Kiwi here. He's been a player who's been very good for us. Last year, he got a lot of assists. This year, not been quite so kind of frequent, I guess, in the first team, but still a good little player when we've called upon him. In centre back, we go with Michael Williams. And alongside him, we go with our first ever signing we made at the club, Jose Reina. In midfield, we go with James and Ruffer. Nothing too crazy going on there. Worth noting, Chris James really has declined as a footballer of late, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's something that we knew was going to happen for him, but he has declined a lot quicker than I thought he was going to. We then go Alex Ruther here, who is another Kiwi in the side. It's good to have a few of these still in the core of the side, despite perhaps the American imports I've brought in. Out on the right, we go with Chettelberg. Not much to say about this guy, just an absolute monster. 14 goals and 12 assists in the league so far this year. Out on the left, we go with Diego Rivera, the kind of master of finishing, I guess you could say. 10 goals and 2 assists for this guy from out on the left wing. 18 finishing. He's pretty bloody good, this guy. He's only 19. Good pace as well. Ideal player to have out on the left for us. We go with Gorski down the middle, the player who, of course, joined us on a free. With Michael Morris leaving the side, this guy has been the man who's really slotted into the heart of our kind of entire team. And you can see 16 goals, or 16 assists for him, and 5 goals. Pretty pleasing. And to round off our strike force, we go with Josh Noto, another American, another player who's been doing great for us. 11 goals in 17. Some people probably wondering about Lovemore, a player who last year was a massive, massive influence for us. Unfortunately for us, he's not played much this year. 5 games, no goals. Pretty disappointing, but he has had a few injuries, including a twisted ankle, which kept him out for 5 weeks to contend with. But anyway, this is the team we're going to go with for today's game. This will probably be one of the last games you ever see at Waitakere. If you thought the last one, was going to be the last one, it wasn't. We're back here. If we could do well in this competition, even if we can only win one game, that would still probably help my rep just a little bit. So that's kind of what we've got to look towards here. In terms of what we're going to do, I'm just going to tell my assistant to show their wingers onto their weaker foot, and then for their strikers, we're going to put tight marking on always and also weaker foot. And that's what we're going to go with for today's game. I'm going to tell the players, nobody expects us to get a win. Enjoy the game. I mean, we're not expected to win this. If we could cause a massive upset here, I mean, who knows? Maybe that would help my manager rep and help me get a new job. But regardless, it's just kind of an exhibition game, I guess, this one. I know when I did the Pentagon Challenge last time, back in FM13, I don't think I ever did a Club World Championship. I'd love to know, do you think when I win Champions Leagues with teams, depending on the situation, maybe I should stay on at the team to see how we get on in this competition? It's kind of a fun competition. We are going to get thrashed, I have a feeling. But at the same time, it could be cool with each team that we kind of succeed with to see how they get on in this competition under our helm. Or should I just jump ship as soon as possible and move on to the next job? Let me know. Anyway, in this game, we have gone 1-0 down. 19 minutes in. Not the best start. I wanted to put up a fight this game if possible. I was going to stick with our normal match plan. But we've conceded a set piece there in this absolutely packed stadium. And that's pretty disappointing if I might say so myself. But anyway, 30 minutes in, we still got time to turn this around against all the odds. We have a set piece here. James whips it in. Ruffer headers it. I think that would hit the post maybe. Keeper managed to collect it regardless, but that was a half-decent chance. I've just realised, don't know why, but we don't have the match stats up. So let's get them up there. It wasn't a clear-cut chance, that last one. We are playing on key highlights. I wanted to check, make sure we're not playing on comprehensive or something. Rayner, nice header clear there. Now can we break? Ruffer, options up ahead. Gorski. Noto, go on my son, score. Oh, it's blocked. Rivera crosses it. Headed away. Chettelberg. Back into the box. Rivera! Oh, it was a sitter. A back post header with the entire goal at his mercy. And Rivera, he's just missed it. 18 finishing. That didn't help him with his heading right there. And Iago with a save and the rebound hits the crossbar. We've just been let off the hook. I mean, looking at the stats, it's not been a bad game for us, really, against all the odds. We're putting in a pretty good performance. And at half-time, only 1-0. I'm going to tell the players they've been unlucky so far. They're going to love this as well. I can tell. Look at it. They are so happy. Right, and now we encourage them just that little bit more. They all look happy. They all look motivated. They all look relaxed. Second half, can we turn this around? Can we show a little bit of character, in the words of Brendan Rodgers? No, we can't, is the answer there as the ball gets kicked out for a throw-in. But anyway, we do have a chance here. Noto, Raniga. Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't expect him to be there, which is why I've hesitated with his name. Raniga, the left back. A player who's been here since he came to the club. He's not got a goal or an assist this year, but I'll tell you what, he's got an important goal there. I don't know what he's doing there, but he finds some space, he finds the ball. Cheeky little tap in on that left peg of his. It's 1-1. And well, I don't know what to say here. Well, I guess we'll do the next match, if we do succeed here, in this episode. I mean, why not see how far we get in the World Club Championships? This is assuming we get to the next round. Of course, we could still completely screw it up, but we are on the attack again here. We are on top in this game. Alameri. Ball kicked up to Diarra. Don't screw up the back pass, Halucha. That is okay. Iago, the Brazilian. Can we build from the back here? Looking at these stats, we are actually outperforming this team right now. I'm going to stick on attacking. Gorski, Chettelberg. Beats his man. Crosses it. It's in. It's in. It's a cross that's floated in. Mark Chettelberg, one of my favourite players in this club. He has been a real hero for us here. He helped in the league campaign last year. This year he's been as good. And now he's just scored a very bizarre goal, but it's a goal nevertheless that puts us a goal up in the World Club Championship first round. I don't know how that's gone in, but I'm not going to complain one little bit. We are 2-1 up here. We are actually playing really well in this game. And although we are only playing a team from the United Arab Emirates, I think it's important to note this team did win the kind of top flight of the Arab Emirates Premier League. But also, it's worth mentioning the fact that, well, we weren't expected to win this game at all. And right now, we're going through. I'm going to make a few changes. I'm going to bring on Dan Probert and Jason Hicks, just get some fresh legs in the midfield for the last 20 minutes. Part of me wants to go on defensive. Part of me feels like if we go on defensive, we start letting their players who probably have more quality than us have a little bit more of the ball. We kind of let them have creative freedom. But I'm going to switch to counter here. And I think the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop both our midfielders just back a little bit deeper, help us have a little bit more of a solid shape. So we'll go with that, kind of the 4-4-1-1. Just parking the bus just a little bit, trying to hit on the break if we can. But this would be a historic win if we can do it. And we have the ball here. If we score again, this is game over. Noto, can he bury it? Nasser with a save, unfortunately for us. But 9 minutes left. We are on top in this game. Can we make the most of another set piece? We scored from one. Noto edge of the box. Can he pull the trigger? He can't. Halucha. Let's just not give the ball away in a silly position now. Our players are struggling for condition. Set piece whipped in. Iago with the save. Now can we counter? Now can we boot the ball up for Josh Noto to run onto? We have some very, very quick, attacking midfielders. And this is kind of, late game, physically fit players. Our players who are fast runners. Can they have an impact? Gorski. Well, we've just had a chance to put this game beyond doubt. If we lose this game now, we are going to look on these misses and absolutely regret them. But at the moment, it's still 2-1. There's 4 minutes left. We're still on the attack. Gorski, Noto, he's got to this time. It's another clear-cut chance miss. I don't think that even counted as a clear-cut chance. But it's been missed somehow. But time is ticking away here. And we are about to get a historic win, really. I know that I think Auckland City actually did quite well in the Club World Championships a few years ago now. In FM terms of where we are now. It might have been last year or the year before where they did quite well. And I'll tell you what, we've done well here. We're going to get a game against potentially one of the big boys, which will be nice. Noto. Doesn't matter. We missed some chances there. We're not going to regret them, though. 2-1. What were the odds on us winning that game? We've come back from behind. What were the match odds? I didn't check them. I almost want to go back and check. Either way, what a win. What a win, boys. 2-1. We win the Club World Championship playoff. It's an incredible achievement. We've reached the quarter-final. Let's go, boys. I don't know who we take on now. It might be the winner of the African Champions League. But either way, that's pretty exciting. I want to go back here. I have a feeling we might even get a job interview during this competition, which would be a little bit awkward, wouldn't it? You kind of sat there doing really well with your team in the Club World Championship and then you're taking job interviews. It's not great. But either way, we're going to rest our players there. We've got the Club World Cup group stage right. I didn't think there was a group stage. That might be a bug. We're going to take on Orlando Pirates on the 9th. Well, that's going to be a challenge, but it's a challenge I'm looking forward to playing. Have we ever played them before? No. That doesn't really surprise me. Orlando Pirates, although they're a good team, they're not a great team. They might be beatable. I mean, it's not going to be easy, don't get me wrong. But we've upset the apple cart once. We've already defied the critics. We've already upset the odds. Can we do it again against the Orlando Pirates? We've knocked out kind of one of the hosts. Oh, Portland Timbers make Rutherford. That's a really crap offer. Reject. I'm noticing actually, because our reputation is increasing, we are starting to get bids from afar. Obviously, Mike Morris went to a Greek team in Europe, which is pretty pleasing, to have players going afar. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice thing, I guess, to have the rep of New Zealand being increased to a stage where foreign kind of clubs are interested in our players. But at the same time, you get some really kind of piss-takey bids like that one you've just seen there for Ruther. But anyway, we're doing okay here. We're going to be taking on Orlando Pirates in a bit of a shock game, but at the same time, pretty pleasing to win that first game. Didn't expect that. I believe there might even be a 5th place playoff following this game. I did not expect this to be a long com, if I'm honest. I thought we'd play one game, we'd lose it, and that would be the end of that chapter kind of thing. We wouldn't have to worry about anything more. But here we are, taking on Orlando Pirates. And I think I just want to stick with the exact same teams before. Our fitness isn't great. It's kind of worth noting that, but at the same time, I think we've got to go for it. We are, of course, playing them here in the Club World Cup. I've only selected 5 subs of a possible 7. Why have I done that? I don't know. Right, let's add Basilage into the goalkeeper position for us there. Not 100% fit. Hopefully we don't have to sub off our goalkeeper. Wouldn't be great. Look at the odds here. Orlando Pirates are very heavily favourites. If we win this, we'd play Atletico Mineiro in the semi-final. That wouldn't be bad, would it? Looking at their team here, they're playing a 4-4-2. Nothing too crazy about that. I really hope we can do a good job here against this team. It's not going to be easy. But yeah, we're going to try our utmost, aren't we? We're going to try and just get as far as we can in this competition. It helps my manager rep, as I mentioned. And it's a nice change of pace. I don't think I've ever managed kind of in a Club World Championship from this kind of earlier stage. Often when I reach the Club World Championship, I'm doing it as a European manager, a manager managing in England more often than not. And so you only come in for the semi-final. You can only play 2 games which you kind of, I guess, spank teams in, and then you win the competition, and that's that. Whereas kind of coming in as a real underdog in this competition, slightly different flavour. It suddenly has this, I don't know, different aura about it. It feels more significant. But anyway, Orlando Pirates did get a corner straight off the bat there, although we are on the attack here. Ruffer, options in the middle. Tackled away by Mashamba. Maybe I should play more defensive. Maybe. I'm going to stick with what we've got. I'm going to stick with the system we have. It worked last game, and we're on the attack here, actually. Noto, options in the middle. You've got to pass it. Pass it, you mug. Gorski scores. It's 1-0. Paxton Gorski with the goal. Waitakere United. What a counter, boys. What a counter. Part of me wants to switch now to the 4-4-1-1 we played before and just try and counter. But that's probably going to be inviting pressure on ourselves. But I think I'm going to do it. Although Rivera can't play there. I think we're going to have to... We'll stick with what we've got for now. If it gets desperate, then we can obviously change the system. I think we'll drop our midfielders just a little bit deeper. We'll go with something a little bit like that. So take Gorski off attack. James and Ruther both set to defensive in the centre of the midfield. And look for our wingers to really have an impact on the game. That's what we'll do for now. We'll stay on attacking too. But it's a good start to the game, and now if it stays 1-0, I'll be very happy. Looking at the stats, we are actually edging possession and having more shots. This kind of 4-2-3-1 system that we're using is really, really working well for us here. And it's going to be 1-0 at the break, and that is a good performance so far. Pleased, of course I am. That's a great first half performance. I'm a little bit concerned perhaps about the fitness of some of our players and whether or not we can kind of keep up the tempo of this game. But we've got to do our best. I mean, we're 1-0 up here. Against the run of play, they've not actually had a shot on target yet, which is kind of pleasing. I think I'm going to switch to counter 2. So we'll do that. Sit a little bit deeper, look to hit them on the break. I expect Orlando Pirates really to start piling on the pressure, starting to throw a lot of men forward. And I think it's as they throw men forward, that's really where we can look to perhaps exploit them. Anyway, we will make a change here. I think we're going to move Chris James to deep line playmaker and bring on Dan Probert, the kind of 15-year-old. He's a good player for us, Dan Probert. You can see a defensive midfielder, 15 actually, not even 16. But he's a good little player at our level. In fact, do I want to do that? It's probably an unnecessary risk. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring on Hicks for Ruther. Ruther really struggling here. Chelberg, perhaps the other player who will need to be subbed off. Although both our centre-backs struggling, which isn't great. I could bring on Tim Myers. Rayner's had a better game so far, but Williams is the better centre-back. We'll take off Williams. Williams is the better centre-back, but he's not having the best game, looking slightly less fit. We'll make the change there. So we have one sub left. Don't want to make it too soon. But obviously need to get some fresh legs, and I think having a fresh-legged centre-back is kind of going to be useful, and we do need to defend here. Orlando Pirates, back post, headed against the post, and it didn't go in. That would have been a crazily good goal. I think it was a header from a narrow angle on the back post. Ricocheted off our post and went out, and we managed to scramble it away. And well, there's 7 minutes left for us to hold on for dear life. Chelberg is all but dead. Rayner is also dead. I'm going to bring on Dan Probert for Rayner. Rayner's having a really good game though. 7.4. That's tricky. I bring on Probert for Chris James. Chris James not had the best game, struggling for fitness. Having two fresh-legged centre defensive mids or centre mids is probably going to be useful for us. I'm thinking I'm going to drop Probert deeper as well, just like so. Which is a little bit, risky, I guess, changing our system here. But I feel like it's kind of useful to have a fresh-legged midfielder really helping protect Rayner. But anyway, 2 minutes left. We need to hold on here. It's going to be a throw into us, but it is in our half, and I am a little bit nervous here. It's 1-0. If we win this, incredible, but there's a chance somewhere in this game left, although we aren't controlling possession well here, and maybe it's a chance for us. We're on the attack. Noto, don't give away the ball there. He has given it away. Orlando Pirates going to come away on the attack. Can we hold out? Rayner chose not to sub him off. Fantastic tackle there. Josh Noto given a gift. This is to kill off the game. He misses it. He misses a chance to put us 2-0 up, and he did it last game. He missed the chance last game to put us 2 goals up. It didn't cost us. Hopefully it's not going to cost us today. It's not. What a win that is. This is absolutely incredible. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. We are just somehow grinding out the craziest of results in this competition. We beat Orlando Pirates. We win in the Club World Cup quarterfinals. I think we have a guaranteed kind of 2 more games now with all that's happening. Wow. I can't quite believe it. I cannot quite believe what I'm seeing. We should probably, at this point, rest all our players again. Stop continuing. I want to rest players, please. I get a little bit excited here. This doesn't happen very often. I feel like whenever you have big games in FM, it's hard not to contain, your nerves or excitement. And particularly when it's a game like this, perhaps where you don't have a ton of expectation on your shoulders or on your team. It's just a little bit mad to be kind of winning 2 games like we have. We have now had our scouting range upgraded so we can scout within the entire of our continent, which I guess is okay, although there aren't really that many Oceanic players outside of New Zealand who are ever going to play for us. So it's a little bit of a waste. I can think of better ways that scouting budget could have been spent. I don't know if we gain much money in this competition. I don't believe we do. Maybe we will for reaching the semi-final. We'll have to check that because obviously the club not 100% financially secure, and so I guess to do well in this competition would be pretty pleasing. Let's check this competition. Rules. Semi-final. Is there an overall? Loser prize money for the 3rd place playoff is £1.3 million, and because we've reached the semi-final, we're guaranteed to get there. Well, that suddenly helps the club a ton. Wow, okay. That is actually incredible. We are going to be taking on Atletico Mineiro. I've probably butchered that pronunciation. I know that I have Brazilian viewers. I'm sorry. And Portuguese viewers. You guys do often feedback on my Brazilian pronunciations of kind of Portuguese names and such. Not usually the best. I'm going to hold up my hands and admit that. But yeah, we're just going to have to see how we get on. I'm a little bit kind of in a weird situation here. I kind of came into this episode kind of thinking, we'll play 1 game. I'll give you guys an update on how the save's going. And that'll be that. We'll lose in the first round and there'll be nothing more ever said about this. As it stands, slightly unpreparedly, I guess you could say, we find ourselves in the semi-final of this competition, taking on Atletico Mineiro for a shot at the final. And we pretty much guarantee ourselves here £1.3 million just for reaching this stage. I don't know what the money's like for winning the entire thing. We will check that in just a second. I mean, we're not going to win this semi-final. We're not. It's not happening. I hate to be the kind of person who just kind of, I don't know, shoots down any kind of hopes, but we are not going to get to the final. If we did, we're financially sorted for life. This is a pretty big game, I guess, in the context of the club. Let's have a look at their side just real quick. Team overview. Who have been their big performers so far? Junior, who's injured. Well, that works out for me. It looks like they've got a few players not registered, although I guess you can't really judge that too much because it's based off average rating. But if we look at their side here, Jemison, their key player, he's quite a bloody good centre-back. I'll give him that. He's not too bad. I think Paxton Gorski's got his number, though. They've also got Carl. Okay, yeah, they're quite good, this team, aren't they? They've got Victor. Yeah, okay. If we win this will go down as perhaps my biggest ever win in FM. I don't see it happening. But we will do our best right here and right now. Players are struggling for fitness. I think we're going to stick with the team who served us pretty well last time out. But yeah, bit of a challenge this. Just a little bit. I think we're going to bring on Hallavand. I think so. I think Hallavand's probably a useful player for us to have. Is there any other player changes I want to make? I've dropped Lovemore because he's not fit. We have a lack of centre mid backups, unfortunately. But I think we'll go with this team. Do I want to... Part of me wants to start obviously playing like something like this. I think we're going to have to do this. We'll bring in Hicks to play left wing for us. I think we'll play on counter too. I hate these kind of games because I know that we're not going to win. Or rather, I don't expect us to win. So I kind of feel like I don't want to just roll on our bellies and play super, super defensively. I want to try and play like how we play football. But, I mean, it's mission impossible, isn't it? I'm going to put Tom Cruise in the thumbnail. Actually, no, that would give away too much about the save. Or about what happens in this episode. I'm going to tell the players that I'm happy with them. I should apologise, because usually at the start when I'm doing a longer episode, I tell you to get popcorn. If you want to pause the video at this point, go and get popcorn and come back. Feel free to. Anyway, mission impossible. Can we do it? How long will we hold out for against Atletico Mineiro? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'll deal with that. Can we clear the header? We can. Set piece back towards our box. Douglas Coutinho whips it in. Iovi, clear it. We live to fight another day. Can we counter? No, we can't. No, we can't. But we've lasted 10 whole minutes with a clean sheet. I mean, that's got to be worth something, right? Can we FM them? That's got to be the dream, hasn't it? Hicks with the tackle. Noto even. Go straight to them. They're coming down the wing. Chettelberg, what's the touch? Iovi misses it. I should point out, really, we still fight the game against Orlando Pirates. They've got a set piece here and we've got an injury. But against games like Orlando Pirates, I feel confident staying on attacking and still having a chance of winning the game, as we proved. In this kind of game, I mean, we're probably not going to win, are we? It's 1-0. Jamie Iovi with the goal. We are being dominated so far this game. They just have kind of superior quality, I guess. It's difficult to play against superior quality. Chelberg took a knock. I kind of want to keep playing him, but at the same time, if it's something serious, then I'm going to regret it. You know what? We're going back to our normal system. Why not? Why not? Let's just go back to how we normally play. Let's play our game. I say why not? We're probably now going to lose 7-0. But at the same time, we've made it this far. We actually have a chance. Williams. Noto, get onside, you mug. Okay, that is not where you want your centre-back to give away the ball. Iovi, they have like 7 players in the box. Iago with a questionable save. I don't want to call out corruption, but a Brazilian goalkeeper has just maybe had a mare against a Brazilian team. You know, I don't want to judge too much. But this looks just a little bit suspect. Yeah, I'm going to call him out on that. He's getting fined. He is getting fined after this game. Right, 25 minutes in. It's only 2-0. Don't stop believing, in the words of Glee. Can we do this? Can we achieve Mission Impossible? I mean, if it's 3-0, the game's over. I mean, it is probably over now, isn't it, to be honest? It's probably over now. Douglas Coutinho, they just have so many good players, and we don't have any relative. That is kind of the simple, honest, kind of brutal truth of it. I mean, the fact it's only 2-0 at half-time is kind of pleasing. They have had a lot of chances, though. I'm going to tell the players that they've been poor, but at the same time, I want to try and motivate them. I don't want to upset you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Right. Hicks and Reniga, weak links in the team. Hicks, you can come off. Rivera, we need goals. Why can I not drag you? Do I have to click here? Okay, that worked. Excellent. Rivera, get on the pitch. Work some magic for us. If they could have a sending off, that would help. You know, if they go down to 10 men, maybe there's hope. Anyway, we have the ball here. Rivera, the sub. Go on, my son. Options in the middle. Whips it in. Noto. Bury that. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. Oh, my God. I got a bit excited. I jumped out my chair and I think I bashed my desk. I'm sorry. It's one of those FM games. Rivera, the sub. With the impact. Noto. Missed a few chances in the last few games. Keeper's done pretty much what our keeper did. But at the same time, it's 2-1. The dream is alive again. They're probably now going to score immediately and the dream is completely crushed. That is the reality of it, isn't it? Iovi, Douglas Coutinho on the right. He's had a lot of chances. Iovi scores. Raise your flag, Lino. He's not raising his flag, is he? It's 3-1. The game just wanted me to have hope for just... How long? How long did we have hope for? We had hope for a minute and a half. And now all the hope's gone. I don't even want to watch it again. Don't even want to watch. I'm heartbroken. Heartbroken. The fact it's only 3-1, the fact we scored. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. For a team of our quality. They're on the attack again. Williams with the interception. Ruffer. Gorski. Chelberg. Go on. Noto. Bury that. Rebound, please. Please. Oh, it's such a crap cross. The fact I'm pleading with him to score. I really want to win this game. I really do. I mean, we're not going to. I guess we might. I want to believe. There's not long left. We've got to make some changes. Right, Ryan Pickering, get on the pitch. Chelberg, you're struggling. Unfortunately, not got many options there. I think we'll move Gorski out onto the right. And then bring on Pickering. Rayner's struggling. Right, Myers, get on. Get on the pitch. If we score now, this game gets interesting, but we're probably going to concede now. Douglas Coutinho, he's had quite a good game. Whips it back post. That was offside. Well done, Lino. 3-1. I can live with 3-1. That is not a disgraceful result against like the best team in South America as a club from New Zealand. 4-1, then it starts to look like a bit of a thumping, I guess. Note the fact that we've done better playing on attacking than when we played on counter. I feel like a lot of people tell me to play counter more often. Actually, we have a chance. Gorski, please. Oh, it was a chance. It was a chance. It was saved by Victor. It wasn't a great chance. It wasn't clear cut. But it was a half chance. Rivera, out wide. Pickering, the sub. James. Oh, dear, he's missed it. He's missed it. 88th minute. It's still 3-1. Can't see us getting 2 now. That doesn't mean I don't believe. Iago, nice save. Made up for his past mistake. Our team is dead. Our team is dead. We've still got the third place playoff to play. Dodo. Well, that was terrible, wasn't it? That's a good way of describing that free kick. It was doo-doo. Anyway, I'm going to tell the players they were unlucky there. That is a pretty incredible performance, if you ask me. To play against the best team in South America and only lose 3-1. I can live with that. Chettelberg increase a better contract. Sack your assistant. Get rid of him. There we go. Get rid of your agent. Cheeky Matthews asking for more money. Right. We now have the 3rd, 4th place playoff. I don't know who we're going to be playing. It's going to be Club Leon of Mexico or Chelsea. Part of me wants Chelsea to lose this game so that we get a game against Chelsea. Please lose. I mean, Chelsea are going to probably spank the Mexican team. Yeah, they have. 3-0. Right, so we're going to take on Club Leon. That's probably not how you pronounce their name. But if we get 3rd place, we basically get rid of all club debt, which would be nice. If we look at this here, £1.66 million for winning the competition, 1.33 for losing in this kind of 3rd, 4th place playoff, which either way is going to help out the club massively financially. If we could win this game, pretty much gets rid of most of, if not all of the debt, which would be nice. A little bit disappointed after that last game. I feel like this episode's been a bit of a fun episode, a bit of a laid-back one. Kind of similar, I guess, to the last time out, where, of course, we did we did the game, obviously, in the Oceanic Champions League, where we did it as one long live com. I didn't expect to do another one of those. That's kind of how this has transpired, I guess. But anyway, this will be the last game of the episode. We're taking on Club Leon. I've got the job interview that I mentioned we might get during this episode against Al Sadd. He looks very happy. He does look like a Qatari club owner, I'll give him that. Right. How would you overcome the relatively big obstacle of not speaking the language? Football is somewhat of a universal language. I have very little manager experience, and obviously it concerns me. I've not been in the game that long, and results, I've not been able to build up experience. I may not have the experience, but I've done well in my time in club management. I think that's a fair analysis. You've been relegated once during your brief managerial career. Right. You see, with that, I came to Beijing IT. It was a decision I made with my heart, not my head. And it was always going to be a rough season. How do I intend to handle the workload of managing both club and a national team? I feel the unique experience of working at international level makes me a better manager overall. Why have I applied for well, that's a good question, isn't it? Well, basically, mate, I'm doing this thing called the HEXAGON, Mohammed. His name is actually Mohammed. But I need to basically win every Champions League, so I've just been applying for any job I can. I wanted a fresh start. We'll go with that. I don't need money to change my backroom staff. Is there anything else you'd like to judge on if I'm appointed manager? They like to sign young players for the first team. So we'll tell them that. And we'll also tell them direct football. I have no further philosophies. If hard, we'd expect you to position the team for a title challenge. I'm going to tell them I can guarantee I'll win the... Oh, okay, £9.5 million. Yeah, we can win the title with that. Should we go with slightly bigger? Let's go with slightly bigger. They're a sugar daddy club. I'm happy with that wage budget. I have no further requests. Excellent. Well, hopefully we get that job, because £9.5 million would be nice. I don't think we're favourites to get that job, but I feel like we did well in the interview there. Feel like we did okay. Lots of reading. Probably sat quite awkwardly, quietly reading that during this episode. I can't multitask. It's one of my dreams is to be able to read and do press conferences whilst live comming. I just can't do them. I'm just not capable. I'm sorry. What happens is I panic, skim read, and then click the wrong one. So that's why I send my assistant. Anyway, Club Lyon. Back to reality here. Imagine how bad it would be if they offered me the job now. They kind of offer me the job on the day of the game. That'd be such mind gamey. Please don't do that. Waitakere want me to have talks to stay at the club. I'm going to decline those. I don't want to stay. I'm sorry, boys. My heart's made up. Anyway, Club Lyon, Mexican team. Mission Impossible, episode 3. Or is this? I guess this is the 4th game now. We failed in our 3rd mission. Let's set up our tactic as it normally is now. And then bring on Rivera. Rivera got an assist. I don't know why I dropped him last game. Well, I dropped him because I was playing more defensively, but that really didn't work for us. I think I'm also going to bring in Hicks for Ruffer. I just think Hicks... I don't know. Jason, he's a good deep line playmaker, but also the fresh legs are going to help us. So that's the team we're going to go with. We'll submit the team, proceed to match. Club Lyon, they're favourites to win the game, unsurprisingly. They are playing quite a Mexican system. I say this as someone who's managed in Mexico a few years ago. I remember seeing some wacky formations. They've provided another beauty here for us to look at. It looks a bit like a spaceship. Anyway, let's say we'll always mark tightly and always close down their lone striker. We'll show them onto their weaker foot and the right and left mid onto weaker foot. Right, that's what we're going to go with. Let's show this team what we're all about. Look at that. They're loving it. Let's cause one last upset here, Waitakere, before I probably leave you forever. I mean, at the rate we're going, we could still win the Oceanic Champions League for a 2nd year in a row. In which case, if we don't get the Al Sadd job and we don't get another job, we might be back for that as well. Although, to be honest, I'll probably only do the final if we reach it again. Obviously, it's a little bit kind of routine, I guess, in terms of the fact it doesn't actually have as much riding on it as perhaps other kind of Champions League finals would, because we've won it already. But anyway, we're taking on the Mexican team here, Club Lyon. I'm looking for a similar performance to last game. I mean, we lasted 10 minutes again, but we have conceded there through Silvio Romero, who makes it 1-0. As I said, though, I want a similar performance to last game. If we can keep it to 2 or 3 goals difference, we're not kind of doing ourselves any shame. These teams, they have vastly more quality than we can ever dream of really having at New Zealand, particularly at this point in a save in New Zealand. If I was doing a long-term New Zealand save where I'm kind of developing the football of the nation and of the Oceanic region, then perhaps it would be a different story. But kind of the reality, I guess, of all of this is that it's a small nation, New Zealand. It's not a big league. We're kind of punching way above our weights. Even if we were to get hammered this game, I mean, I'd still be pretty pleased with what we've done this episode. It's not been a bad game, although it is 2-0 here after 25 minutes. Starting to get a little bit worried. Let's skip. I don't want to watch the 3D goals. I don't want to have to witness them anymore. But anyway, 7 minutes left of the first half. The fact I'm counting down the minutes of the first half, if we get in at 2-0, it's not that bad, really. And we are going to get in at 2-0. I'm going to tell the players they've been unlucky so far. Unlucky is just kind of the go-to team talk for me. If I want to kind of relax and motivate players in games which we're losing when we're not the favourites. I think if you're not the favourites in a game and you're losing by 1 or 2 goals, usually telling the players they've been unlucky, it works in FM, especially with the calm tone. And in a game like this, I don't really want to piss off the players by telling them, oi, I expect to win, or oi, you've been shit. Because in reality, we were always going to not look too great against this kind of team. Actually, looking at the stats, Club Lyon really aren't dominating this game. They really aren't. They've not had a clear-cut chance. They've scored 2 goals. They've been well-taken goals by Romero. But they've not been great chances. And actually, we're on the attack here. Gorski, Chettelberg, Hicks. Nicely worked around here. It's worth noting we are kind of trying to play some okay, nice football rather than kind of complete counter-attack football in these games. You know, we are going and trying to play for the win. Romero almost scored a screamer there to get his hat-trick. Unfortunately for him, smashed it way over. But yeah, we're looking okay here. 20 minutes left. I should probably make some subs because our players are basically dead, as they have been for the last few games. That is the kind of the nature, I guess, of this kind of competition, where you are playing a game pretty much every other day. I think we'll take off Hicks and bring on Ruffer, and we'll also bring on Probert. We'll use all 3 of our subs there. Get some fresh legs on for the last 20 minutes down the spine of our team. Fresh-legged centre-back in Tim Myers. 2-0, as I said. If we lose by 2 goals, not too fussed about that. Not going to lose sleep over it. That would still be a fairly good performance. Unfortunately, not quite as hyped as perhaps some of the other games that we performed in where we really played above our weight. But in this competition, the Club World Championships, I came in knowing that it was probably going to be one game and we'd lose it, and that would be that. And, you know, there wouldn't be too much to dwell on. But what we've done here showed we've got a little bit of character, really performed and punched above our weight. And we've not been thumped by any team. We've lost 2 games by 2-goal margins. But when you're playing the best team in North America and the best team in South America, I don't think that's that bad at all. Particularly that game. Club Leon, they didn't have a ton of chances. We didn't create a ton ourselves, but we didn't kind of disgrace ourselves by any means. And we do get £1.33 million just for competing in that game. So that's pretty pleasing. That's going to help us. I don't know if we get much of a rep boost for doing as well as we did in the Club World Championships. I mean, it's not a minor achievement, at least in my opinion, to reach where we did considering the team we had. I don't think in game it counts as kind of finishing runner-up or, you know, finishing 3rd. So perhaps we won't get as big a buff to kind of our rep. But at the same time, we've done quite well there. We were the big overachievers. We thrilled everyone with our performances. Iovi got top performer, Eden Hazard top assists. I don't know if there's any further awards for this competition, so we'll just continue forward once more, but there probably isn't. But no, I'm pretty pleased with that. Looking at our finances, that helps us out massively. It takes us to basically only £500,000 in debt, which I say only, considering where we're at, that's not bad by any means. And as I said, we didn't really disgrace ourselves. Some kind of memorable performances there to beat Orlando Pirates, to beat the team from the United Arab Emirates. I'm pretty darn pleased with that. We've got some players in under 21 action. As I mentioned, next episode might be kind of doing France v England in the under 21s. Although that's a friendly, it could be quite a fun game to watch. And kind of talk about the I guess, situation in terms of our national team. I'm just continuing on here to see if Al Sadd get back to me. They probably won't. If we get to the day of the Auckland City game, then I guess you guys will have to tune in next time to find out if we get the job. I don't expect us to get this Al Sadd job, but given our performances there, it would round off a pretty crazy episode if we were to be able to do it. We reach 100 games in management taken on Auckland, which is nice. We'll just send our assistant to the pre-match press conference. But no, it doesn't look like we're going to have that kind of job offer or job news come through just yet, which is a little bit of a shame. It would have been nice to wrap off what has been a pretty impressive episode with that. I would say, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this episode. Apologies for the rambly nature. Kind of a laid-back kind of commentary, this one. Not so serious. Hopefully entertaining regardless. Yeah, it was a fun episode. I like doing these ones occasionally. Obviously, to do as well as we did in the Club World Championships, I'm pretty pleased with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, that's going to wrap up everything from me. If you have enjoyed this video, please do smash the like button, show some love on this series. Let me know, do you think I should do more Club World Championships with every team that I kind of progress with? Maybe see how far in the competition we can get. Let me know down in the comments. And other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time for episode 12. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.